What's up? Welcome to the Monday edition of Fernando's Rant of the Day. Thanks for joining me. And I'm not big. Most people who know me know I'm not very big on small talk. I don't enjoy small talk. Maybe I should get better at it, but it's not something I appreciate. I'm just going to get right to it. And if you know me, you know that's kind of how I am. So what I want to talk about today is, I want to ask you a question. What is your focus? What are you focusing on? What's your focus? Why is that your focus? Where's your focus taking you? So for a long time, for years, my focus wasn't on the right things. My focus, and it kept me in chains, literally in shackles. My focus was on, come here. My focus was on the wrong thing. What is this wrong thing? My focus was on other people. Ooh, I'm gonna hurt some feelings today. My focus for my life was on other people. Is that you today? Is your focus other people? See, for years, my focus was 80% what other people were doing, what I liked, what I didn't like, why I didn't like it, about what other people were doing and the choices they were making with their lives. 80% was, I'm focusing on other people. Now, with Facebook, think about it. Think about the way Facebook works. You know, you're using it on your phone, you're flicking. It's 90% what? Other people. Other people's lives. What other people are posting, what other people are thinking, what other people are doing. And you're sitting there focusing on it. Now, I play with Facebook too. But I learned this about 2 years ago, that my focus is, and I had to shift. It took me some time, but I had to shift over all of that time, effort, and energy that I was wasting on focusing on other people and bringing it where? That's right, to myself. Focusing on my life. See, I was focusing on other people's lives, what I liked, didn't like. I hate that person. I hate when they post this. Why are they posting that? Yet, I was complaining about my life. There were things in my life that I hated. There were things I didn't like the way where I lived. I didn't like my car. I didn't like my job. I didn't like my income. And yet I was sitting here focusing on what? Other people's lives? Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit what other people are doing when there's things about my life that I didn't like? So I had to make a change. And it took some time because we're creatures of habit, right? If you're in the habit of focusing your attention on other people, it's going to take some time to break out of that habit. But it's cool because that's what life is about. Growth, change, and evolution, right? So, I'll tell you a little analogy here. Think of it this way. If you're in a race, you're in a race, let's call it a mile. You're in a race with a group of 10 people racing for a mile straight, right? And we're racing, we're spending all our effort and energy in winning the race, right? Now, if I turn while I'm racing, let's say I'm in the lead. And then for a moment, I turn to the right to see what the guy behind me is doing. The effort and energy that I waste focusing on what the other guy's doing, where is that effort and energy not going? On me winning the race, right? Think about it. The effort and energy that you waste on turning to see what the other guy's doing, that's effort and energy that you're not spending on the things you don't like about your life that you want to grow, change, and evolve. You got to get this. This is really important. What's your focus? Where is your focus? Most of us, it's other people. Some of us, our identity is so tied, and our effort, energy, and life is so tied to other people that we don't even know who we are anymore. We have no energy left for our own growth and development, which is why we were put on this earth, to grow change, and evolve. So why? So we can contribute to other people. Dude, that's it right there. That's the meaning of life. You're looking for the meaning of life. That's it right there. The meaning of life. I'm going to tell you right now, the meaning of life, you need to grow, change, and evolve so that you have something to contribute to society, to other people, not to focus on what they're doing so you can sit there and, I like what they do, I like that, I approve, I disapprove, I like that, I hate that, want that, don't need that. Fuck all that. Growth, change, and evolution so you can contribute, right? So that was my focus for a long time. It was 80-20 other people. 20%, the leftovers, the scraps I was spending on my life and growth and developing. But that changed. That changed. And now I'm free from that. I'm free. Why? Because now my focus is on my growth and development. Because if I'm not growing and developing, I have nothing to contribute, nothing to give other people. So keep that in mind. Now, I have two more things. As we're focusing on other people, I've noticed this in my life. There's going to be people you like, there's going to be people you don't like, and then there's going to be people that you view as villains that you just hate. You're going to look at their stuff on Facebook. Why are they on your Facebook if you hate them in the first place? But aside from that, they're on your Facebook and you're like, or they're in your life and you just hate and loathe everything about them. And you think it's your mission in life to tear them down and to expose them for some reason. Because they're the villain. In your mind, they're the villain. Because you spent so much time and effort and energy on other people that you've made this person, for some reason, you don't like anything about them, and you've made them a villain. Here's the thing about the villain. If there's any people in your life that you view as the villain, here's what you need to know about the villain psychology. There's actually a psychology behind the villain. So, in every movie you've watched, most movies have a villain in the movie, right? Now, here's the interesting thing about the villain in the movie, in whatever movie it is. The villain, at some point in the movie, they reveal why, the motivation, the why behind what they're doing. And what gets revealed is the reason and the why behind what they're doing, in their mind, is actually righteous. They're actually doing what they think is right. They are completely sold on what they're doing. They're completely 100% sold on what they're doing. Are you? Are you sold on what you're doing? Do you know what you're doing? What your focus is in life? Why it is your focus? Or are you focusing on the villain and trying to tear them down because that's your mission, to tear somebody else down? Meanwhile, they're completely sold on what they're doing. They're not going to stop what they're doing because in their mind, it's completely righteous. It's the right thing to do. Now, here's the other thing about the villain. I bet everyone that you have conjured up as a villain in your life, there's people in their life that love, admire, look up to, and appreciate and care about that person. So in your head, they're a villain. They're the villain. I need to tear that person down. I got to expose them for who they are to the world. Guaranteed, one, they're completely sold on what they're doing. They think they're doing it for the right reason. And two, there's people in their life that love them, appreciate them, care about them, and want them to succeed. Okay? So, my encouragement to you is get your 80% energy that you're spending on other people's lives and get it back into balance on your own life. What is your focus? What are you focusing on? Why are you focusing on it? Do you have a purpose in life? Do you have a specific purpose, achievement that you're going after? Or are you looking to the side to see what the other guy's doing? Because that's more interesting, or because you don't want to focus on your own life because you hate it, because you don't like it, right? So get all that attention off of these other people, and now you're gonna have all this extra energy to focus on what? Your purpose, your life, so you can contribute. I'm gonna leave you with this. If you ever seen the movie The Matrix, you thought you were just watching a movie. The movie The Matrix was actually unlocking the secrets of life to you, and you missed it because you were just sitting there eating your popcorn, enjoying the movie. Now, the pinnacle moment in that movie, in Neo's journey to becoming what he became, and for him realizing the power he had, was that one moment when he went to go see the Oracle, and he was in the waiting room, and there was a child in there. You got to remember back to when you watch this movie. I bet you remember this scene if you think back to it. He went to go see the Oracle to see if he was the one, and he meets this child in the waiting room while he's waiting to see the Oracle. And this child is sitting there with a spoon, and she's like tilting her head, and boom, she tilts her head and she bends the spoon. And Neo's looking at her like, wow. I'm paraphrasing here, but he's like, how do you do that? How do you bend the spoon? And what that child told Neo is what I'm going to tell you right now. And that was the whole point of his transformation. That lesson that he learned from that child, bending the spoon, was the catalyst for him becoming who he became. And the insight was this. The child said, I'm not bending the spoon. I'm simply realizing that there is no spoon. And when I do that, when I realize that there is no spoon, I realize that I'm not bending the spoon, I'm actually bending myself. Some of you missed that. She's actually bending herself, bending her own mind, which bends the spoon. You can't bend the spoon, she says, that's impossible. What I'm actually realizing is A, there is no spoon. B, I'm not actually bending the spoon, I'm bending my mind, bending myself, bending my inner world, and then the outer world begins to bend at our will. The only way, if there's things in your life that you need to bend, if there's things in your life that you need to change and evolve, the outside world is a reflection of your inner world. You've been creating your outer world for the last few years, and now you're living in the world you created. But if your focus has been on other people, that's one of the reasons why you don't like your life, if you don't like your life. Some of you already learned this lesson. You're great. You're doing great. Love you guys. But the rest of us are too busy trying to bend the spoon, trying to change everything around us, trying to change other people. If your focus is other people, you're never going to change them. Have you ever noticed that if you're in an argument or like not clicking with a certain person, but if you change your approach, they start to change? Right? You're not bending the spoon. You're not trying to bend everything around you to get it to dominate to your will. What you're doing is actually bending yourself. As you can change yourself and evolve yourself, now you become a person that can start bending and changing and structuring your life the way you see fit. The only way to do this is your focus is on the right things. Well, what does my focus need to be on? Change, growth, and evolution. Find things you don't like about your life and start sculpting it. The paintbrush is in your hand. But if your focus is on other people, this is never going to happen. Okay? Well, I love you guys. Let me know if this encourages you. I love the movie The Matrix. That point in the movie really opened my eyes. We're not trying to bend the spoon. We're not trying to bend the physical world around us. What we're actually bending is this. If you can bend yourself, you can bend and change the world around you. But if you're busy trying to change everything around you, control other people, and not focus on yourself, it's never going to happen. It's impossible. You can't bend a spoon. But you can bend this, right? So keep that in mind. Remember, it's not about bending the spoon. Focus on your life, not 80-20 on your life, but flip the 80-20. Focus 80% on your life growth and development, and the 20% is going to start to change. Okay? So focus on your inner world. Bend your spoon in here, and you'll be able to start changing the world around you. But it starts inside.